What's up, you guys? It's L7, aka I Arcadium, aka Sven Crooner. You are now watching Untapped Hip Hop, where the raps are tight and the highs are all natural. Alright.
My name is Lucia. I go by Lucy or Live. I'm from Blythe, California, and I do mostly 3D graph. The German artist Dame, or Dime, I've been in love with him since I was like 13, so that's why I've always been into the 3Ds. I've always been into all the four elements of hip hop, but that part of graffiti was 3Ds always. So that's what I've always done and started to develop 8 years now, actually practicing and studying and getting down. I didn't have a lot of influences. I tried to stay out of trouble, so then I started getting into art shows, creating art shows, going to art walks, First Fridays, so that I was able to still express myself without any troubles added to it. I lived in Phoenix at the time, and they have a lot of, they do First Fridays in downtown. We would make our own little art show with crews or members out there that I'm friends with. That's mainly where it started off at. It was dope. I had a lot of guys be like, hey, she uses tape. I'm like, full watch. Oh, you use this? Nah, I don't. But people, I don't know, didn't believe it at first. Not a lot of people here in the US do 3D style. It's more like European. But I think that's what stands out. It's real clean, organized. I can't do like wild style, crazy, where it's messy but it's dope. I have to be organized, concentrated, follow a certain path, and stick to certain rules. And that's 3D is like perfect for that. Just the 3D style is not based here. You don't see a lot of 3D artists here. So that's what got people's attention. But it's just me doing what I've loved since I was younger, Yeah. I think when I'm in front of the wall and I see the size and the piece, then I kind of make the proportions in my head and then kind of sketch it out. And then that's how I get to it. I think it was a little hard. Like, I dated a writer and he didn't really help. He wasn't very helpful in tips and teaching and stuff. I don't know, I feel like sometimes guys don't want you to excel because yeah we could be rocking together, but some people don't like that. Guys don't like that. So that kind of came at me in different directions. But hey, now they're like, oh, she's still painting, she gets down. Yep. Lately I've been doing a certain shape. I normally try to switch it up and not use it too much, but say if it's a last minute thing that I'm going to fill in for somebody, then I kind of go back to what I have done already. Like we have Montebello Art Fest next Saturday. So for that one though, I'm going to sketch and do something different because it's a bigger event, there's a lot of people there, and all of Flat Black is going to be there, so I can't be doing the same sketches, I take pride in how it stands out and how the light hits and where the shadows go. And I pay attention to that all the time. Especially more lately because I've been picking up more and painting more and try to stay active to keep, more practicing and be around. So yeah, it makes you feel good to keep going and do the next one and the next one. You know what? It was me always being the one to support first, going to the shows, checking out the shows, being there, even if I wasn't painting, supporting somebody always first. I always had to give first, and then people start to know you and recognize you, and then so when you paint, it's like, oh, dope, and then people come back to you, and it's like, you have to give that love first and that support first, and then people are like, oh, okay, I see you, I don't know if you know this dude Merc.
No.
He's cool. He's been the one to really take me under his wing and help me out and show me what's up out here, and I really appreciate that. So I've always got support for him in Flat Black. Practice and study. Always study. You can always study other people's pieces and dimensions and what they do and how they do theirs, but always practice it in your own way. So that's how you can create your own style. But learn, for sure, learn the basics, and once you master that, you can do whatever you want with it.
And you're doing classes at Flat Black right now, like art classes, 3D classes and stuff.
I am. My class is going to start in about an hour. Intro to 3D. So I have, that's actually what I'm showing is I have some examples of like 3D or shading or bevels or fonts. And then I have people who do dope bevels like Mecro and Merlot right now, and showing them the examples and how they're different even though they do the same type, but it's because they mastered this. Just the basic rules. And that's how they blow up and do their own, they understand and they do their own. Yeah, it feels dope because this is what I love to do. And like I said, I didn't really have a lot of teachers or like people, mentors. And I mean, it's easy to teach because I've done it for so long. It's just something that I know. And I would love to just share that with whoever's interested to come through and learn and show them techniques, because that's what people need, like to come up and do their own thing, you know, in their own way.
That's dope. And as a teacher, what would be like your the peak of success as a teacher for you?
To see others doing their own thing and their own style and rocking and like learning and catching up.
And
Yeah.
as an artist, what would be your peak of success?
You know what? Honestly, just to know that I can share my passion, my love, my knowledge with other people who are really interested in learning.
What are you doing right now that's gonna make you better tomorrow? And how are you gonna maintain that throughout the course of your career?
Oh, that's dope. Hell yeah.
That's the homie A. Brook. He's a producer out in IE.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Dope. Well, what am I doing right now? Like right now is teaching and doing classes. This is my first actual formal class. And I already have the next one lined up next month at Montana Shop LA, doing the same thing. So hopefully I can pick up more classes and then move on from intro to intermediate classes and then expert classes, and just continue to teach, travel and teach and show different people, as many people as I can. Pushing through even when you don't have people supporting you or like showing you love, and still just doing what you gotta do, doing what you love. Even if nobody else is there, you're there. And you push forward and you do what you gotta do, because eventually you get that right opportunities, and then you get to show love and teach other people what you didn't have. My Instagram is Lioness DVC. That's where I mostly post and answer questions. Or also they can visit Flat Black Shop. We normally have all the events posted on there also. So as I mentioned before, I've always been into all the 4 elements. Lioness is my MC name. I was MC first, and then I kind of backed out, and then I started painting. It went from vocal to quiet, you know, expressing myself quietly with paint instead of spitting or rhyming, you know.
Yeah.
So it's just another avenue of expression.
You were MC? You was an MC too?
Yeah.
Man, this could have been you now, man. Man, how long have you been MCing for? Or how long were you MCing for?
It's been like 15 years already.
Word. Man, what got you started in that?
I would always, again, I never had friends who were into like the shit that I was into growing up. So I would always just be in my room and like listen to music and like write. But when I went to the Navy, I met like 5 or 6 dudes that also write and produce.
Yeah.
So then that's my crew, DVC. It's a crew of MCs. My crew's not a crew of writers.
Oh.
But that's when we got heavy into it, you know?
Yeah. So you was an MC, she was in the Navy. You were a graph writer. Now, who were some of your influences growing up, like MC wise? Because you said Dame was graph wise.
Guru for sure. Idea. I really like Quell from Chicago. Prodigy, Mobb Deep, obviously, Prodigy, Havoc. A lot of, I was really into a lot of the East Coast music in the 90s. Being a girl in the West Coast, people were like tripping out because I wore Timbs and like baby fat, you know? But like that was my era growing up, you know?
I've only owned one pair of Timbs. Them shits was too heavy. Like,
They are.
in the heat, man.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't see how New Yorkers be doing that shit.
All day, huh?
Yeah, like rain, sleet, or snow. Just
Yeah.
Timbs. I'm like, come on, bro. Like, man. And, does like your MC influence any of your artwork or vice versa?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, to me, it all goes together, you know, and like it inspires me to do pieces. Like, I had a face with like gems on her head, and then maybe like an MPC, a pencil, a mic,
Yeah.
and it said "dropping gems on your melon," which is a Code of the Streets. It's a bar from Code of the Streets by Gangstar. So it helps me to like visualize, you know, the words.
That's dope. That's
For
dope.
example, yeah.
Shoot, you got any bars you can drop with us, or you?
And next time for the MC one.
For sure, for sure. All right, I'm gonna hold you to that one.
Okay.